Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to start here, aren't I? Yeah, well, let's do it. Chris Garcia, howdy, sir. How are you? Golly. Whew. Personally, I'm having a banner day. A truly great day. How about yourselves? Hopefully everybody out there in YouTubeville / land, whatever, is having a good time and a good day. Welcome to the weekend. Thank you, sir, for asking. I'm doing great. I am doing great. About to be having, as per normal, a Alec Bradley Black Market Robusto. Hey, did that come through on the right direction? If not, I can always start trying to adjust things. It's backwards to me, so I don't know what it was like to you. Like, does that say Cohiba? I know it does on my end. And for all of those, oh, it's backwards, great. How about now? Let's try this. It says Cohiba on my end. And of course this is a... Never mind, it's not going to show it. Alec Bradley Black Market Robusto. I know a lot of people are going to say, God, you smoke a lot of those. I do. I really do. They last about as long as I'm going to be on screen. It's a decent smoke that I don't feel I'm going to be blown away by something that I don't expect. I know it well. It was one of the first cigars that I can say I really, truly enjoyed previous of the Black Market Robusto, I smoked a few cigars, don't get me wrong. But after the Black Market Robusto, I'm going to say I really became a cigar smoker. Thank you, Leaf, for falling out of the tree and hitting me. Piper said, howdy, howdy. Great to see you, sir. How are you doing today? Hopefully all is well. Yesterday, in case y'all missed it, by the way, Thursdays start at 5 o'clock my time. This is 3 o'clock my time, so you can adjust your clocks however you feel like. We talked a little bit about how television killed baseball. No big deal. Y'all can go back and look at it if you really, really absolutely want to. But quite literally, it's Tailgate. We're going to talk about everything, anything, whatever comes up. There's no specific statement of this subject has to be covered better than everybody else's statement. As it turns out, eventually we'll cover everything. Okay, maybe not everything. I mean, I'm still waiting for my first victim to agree to allowing me to practice brain surgery. So obviously we're not covering everything. Yeah, going on strike was pretty bad. And some people would say the end of free agency killed baseball. But as I said yesterday, baseball moves at the speed of a conversation. Runners on the corner. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. If you understand baseball, you understood exactly what the field looked like, what the situation was. You didn't have to look at a screen to actually understand it. Chris Garcia got delivered a nice selection of some cigars. Let's see here. The Monte Cristo Platinums, Toros, not bad. Not exactly my favorite cigar on the planet, but it's a decent smoke. Now, it's kind of a Connecticut, so it's going to be on the light side of things. You're not going to have a long, heavy slam in the face of nicotine. Nice and tasty, though, so no big deal. Rocky Patel Vintage 1990 Robusto. I would need more information to tell you more about that. But normally the 1990 Robustos are pretty good. Now the Gurkha Beauty, that one's kind of iffy. I've had some that I could not finish, just could not smoke them. And I've had some that went down just great. So I guess that's more like an occasional cigar that you smoke when you're really feeling that particular cigar. Cohiba Red Dot Robustos, those are always nice. That's a good flavorful stick. It's an any time of day stick, though. You're not going to be disappointed with it over coffee. You're not going to be disappointed with it over a bourbon at the end of the day. You're not going to be mad if you have it after lunch. But I always felt the red dots left just a little bit lacking. I like the blue dots better, and quite honestly, if I had my choice of any Cohiba that I've had, now I've never had the Spectre, so don't ask me about that one. But if I could have any Cohiba ever, Silencio is number one, and the right below the Silencio would be the Nicaraguan. I always like those. Now the Macanudo Hyde Park, again, it's another light cigar. Really good for first of the morning. I like those with coffee. Quite honestly, I like them better with a latte. Something a little bit sweet tends to bring out the natural flavors of that cigar. And I don't know why, but you can take those suggestions as you choose. Just trying to be helpful as from what I saw. Huva Ilta Boris, great to see you, sir. And Steve and Kathy, great to be with you today. Right, Steve, that's the other thing. With a radio, you could sit there and it was play-by-play. But because baseball does move at the speed of a conversation, hey, that was into the far left corner. You know where that ball was hit. Ooh, line drive right back to the pitcher. And he caught it. Man, you could see it happening. In your mind's eye, you can just kind of think about it. And baseball was right there. When television picked up, you got to see all these sports, and you got to see how boring baseball was. Unfortunately, that's what I think is what killed baseball, is that watching it is kind of boring. Playing it's awful fun, but watching it is kind of boring. It's just my take on it. James Stumbo, howdy, sir. Gotta tell you, I was smoking some Stumbos Num Nums earlier today, and I'm telling you, I was trying to lick my earlobes when I was done. Can't help it. It's freaking awesome. Boris, yes, Cuban Cohibas are very tasty. I do like them quite a bit. Don't get me wrong. The Bahique is fantastic. But due to the fact that most of the viewership here is in America, I don't like to turn them at cigars that they can't get. Unfortunately, yes, the Silencio, you can't get it. You have to actually meet the guy who blended it originally, and that's the only way to get it. You have to go to a cigar event at a local brick and mortar, and you actually have to meet Mr. Sean Williams. Black guy, about 6'5", I would say. Well dressed, well spoken, understands what he's doing, understands his cigar. Great guy to talk to. Absolutely phenomenal. If you ever hear about an event with Sean Williams, go in, buy some Cohibas, get your Silencio, and be prepared to hold on to it for dear life. I've had 3 in my entire life, and all of them were great. And I'm saving one for when my granddaughter's born. That's supposed to be this month, so finally going to get to smoke it. So good. Oh, so good. I've always enjoyed listening to baseball on the radio, myself included. Yes, sir. Yeah, trying to watch a baseball game on TV is, for me, it's just horrible. I either want to be at the game or I want to just be able to tune it onto the radio and listen to it. It's great for those drive homes, especially when you drive all the way across Houston to get home, because you got a solid hour that you're going to be sitting in traffic. You might as well be able to enjoy the sports. And I really think radio is the best option for not being at a live game. James, if it dribbled that low, I might give it a shot. I mean, you know, it's just one of those things, sir. I'm not going to spill any on the ground, that's for damn sure. Now, Piper said, yes, I never minded watching a football game while listening to it on the radio, but if you close your eyes and you try to listen to a football game on the radio, it is difficult at best to see all that's going on inside of your mind. Now, yeah, basketball is definitely the fastest moving sports of the American sports. It keeps going. About the only time that there's really a stoppage is...
I beg to differ.
About the only... See, my wife's out here. She's begging to differ.
Hockey, eh?
You can't watch hockey on TV.
Really? People do it all the time.
It's horrible on TV, and you know this.
I didn't say any sport was good on TV.
She knows. Hockey is horrible on TV. It is. It's a great sport. I love going to see hockey. I've even listened to it a few times on the radio. Though it's difficult for me to understand all the rules because I didn't grow up with hockey. Wait, Boris said something and I missed it, and now I can't get it back because it's already up there. Unfortunately, I'm using a different chat widget, so I can't go back up. Sorry about that, Boris. Only Cohiba Spartacus. Right. H. Yep. Well, Boris, you know, your taste in cigars and my taste in cigars are so close that I know if you're going to say that a cigar is good, I can probably go ahead and just say, yeah, it's going to be good for me. And I'm thinking if I'm saying a cigar is pretty good, you can probably think the same thing, more or less. Some of them are not going to compete with the Cubans you can get. Howdy, Jeff. Ohio Piper. Great to see you there. Stumbo says he doesn't know what you said, but he'll 100% agree with you. Yeah, if I was smart, I'd agree with her too. Hockey on TV is tolerable.
You just can't see the blood bounce on ice.
Yeah, but they cut to commercial break and they do various different things that really frustrates me with hockey. Whereas if you can get high enough that you can see the ice except for like you're in one corner so you can see the whole ice except for that one corner right there at the boards, that's decent. And if you can get right at one of the corners, right on the boards, so you can see pretty much the whole ice, that's pretty good. The only better seats that you're going to get is if you could actually get a seat on the ice And if you're sitting on the ice, you can pretty much guarantee that you're about to get slammed hard. But again, of the American sports, the ones that are actively noted as the American sports, of course, that's baseball, football, and basketball. I just got a raspberry. Yay! Basketball tends to be the fastest, continually moving sport. You don't have a lot of stoppage. Now, don't get me wrong, football, as in soccer, what us Americans call soccer, what the rest of the world calls football. Fast moving sport, it keeps going, you just got to follow the ball and kind of understand what the rules are, sort of, kind of, and mostly you can follow it pretty simply. The rules don't get super complex. And there's got to be a reason why the whole world, or in the whole world, football, that's with a U, not a double O, is the #1 sport on the planet. Konnichiwa. Hi. Wamasen. Man, I lost some words. I've lost some words. Damn it. Never mind. Piper said, yes, college football does tend to move a little bit faster than the NFL, but a lot of that is because of some of the more relaxed rules in college than there are in the NFL. Such as, if you make a catch but you're going out of bounds, you only need to tap one foot in college. You better get both feet down in bounds in the NFL. So there's a lot more strict, stringent rules in the NFL. And I mean, a lot of people say, oh, well, in college they still play for the love of the game. That's a lie. They play for the love of the paycheck. Either the paycheck they're going to get when they turn pro, or that full ride scholarship that they are slamming down with every time that they make a decent play. And you think a full ride scholarship comes cheap? Someone going for a full year of college at, I'm going to mention a Texas college, one that I actually know some reasonable prices for, Baylor. Full ride at Baylor makes more than I made as a boiler inspector. When you consider that the full ride for Baylor is worth $5,000 more a year than what I made a year busting my hump all over the state of Texas and Oklahoma and Louisiana and Arkansas and a small little sliver of Mississippi. Huh. So someone can work their butt off and make less money actually than what is worth for a full ride scholarship. I call that getting paid. So anybody tells me, oh, the college sports, they're in it for the love of the game. If their game doesn't have a professional league afterwards, or their game does not come with any kind of a full ride scholarship, I'll agree with you. If it comes with a full ride scholarship, then you're lying to yourself when you say that. But hey, That's just my take on these things. Steph, that's right. It's Steph's birthday weekend. Happy birthday, Steph. Okay, I'm reading that question. Steve, they are actually absorbing extra moisture, but they do it kind of slow. So the Boveda packs are doing what they're supposed to do. Without the Boveda packs, you'd probably be up in the 85, 90 range, and then your cigars would be soggy as crap, and you would not enjoy them. If you really want to see how well that works, dry one out until it's crispy. If you don't have any other way to do this, find a cedar box that has never been used. Drop a Boveda pack in there, wait until it dries out till it's crispy. Then put that inside the humidor as a only absorbent Boveda pack. And if it starts to plump up, then you know that that's what's happening, is that you're just too high on your humidity anyways. So at that point, then you take the next one out and you continue to do that until you can fine tune what you need to do to get that humidor just the way you like it. Though normally you won't need to. Sometimes that's just what it takes, because they already come pre-filled with a certain amount of humidity in them. Sometimes you just need to seriously let one dry out and let it do its job from the other side. Boris, you're correct there. In college football, we'll go ahead and say that, you have 1% of all college football is going to make it into the NFL. One 1% of all high school football players are going to make it into college. And only about 10% of the kids who are playing football in junior high are going on to play football in high school. Of those kids, you got to consider that that's only about 18% of the population. So junior high, you got 18% of the population. Shrink that by 10%. Shrink that by almost 100%. And shrink that by almost 100%. You're talking about 1 or 8/1000th of a percent of the population are actually going to be in the NFL. They might get drafted and still not make it in the NFL. And of the quarterbacks, let's talk about quarterbacks for a second. You get a quarterback who is facing a college team. He's doing great all year long. I will give you a for example as soon as I'm done with this little statement. But all year long, he's going to face maybe total maximum of 3 people that will actually be worth a damn in the NFL. I mean, every team might have 3 or 4, but it's not like every team is going to have superior all-pro corners and safeties. That's really who the quarterback is facing. Well, when that really great quarterback goes to the NFL, now he's facing nothing but those guys who were really, really destructive to his game. My for example of this is Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, very respectable quarterback. 2 Super Bowl wins, lots of wins in the regular season, tons of yards, great quarterback. Go look at his first year. His first year, he sucked. Because the game was so much faster in the NFL. Because everybody was so much faster in the NFL than everything that he'd ever faced in college. Just the way it was. All right, so making sure. Howdy Skip, howdy Martin, howdy Mike. Howdy Odie, great to see you, sir. Just took a breath break for a second, and there was Odie. Awesome. By the way, folks, we are 32 minutes into this show, and as per normal usage, bowl call. What you smoking and what you smoking it in? For those of y'all who didn't know, this is an Alec Bradley Black Market Robusto. Some people do the Friday 7 Ellie. I do the Friday Black Market Robusto. Come on, Skip. He is not Mr. Burns. Though I am wondering if he's going to go get the vanity plates for his car that says blonde. Yep. So Skip is smoking Carter Hall in a Missouri Meerschaum Cobb. Always good. Ooh, pasta al forno ziti in the oven. Very nice. And for a Kentucky in a Cobb for Boris. I just can't get into the Kentucky blends. They always leave just a sour taste on the end, and that I don't know why. Tried several. I wish I could like them, but it doesn't seem to work for me. Well, Chris Garcia, I'm going to tell you right now, if you happen to be here in the Houston area, it is the perfect weather for being outside and enjoying either a pipe or a cigar. It's just a touch warm. You know what? After the hot summer, as it's starting to cool off now, this is just getting awesome. Okay, I know that's not a Pearson. That's a Perdomo. I'm betting Spellcheck decided to screw with Steve. Perdomo Champagne 10th anniversary. Very nice, highly respectable. Though I do tend to call those my first of the day cigars, mostly because that's the only time I would ever smoke one, would be first one of the day. early morning before the sun comes up, knowing I got a full day of screwing off to do with a cup of coffee, sit out front with a Perdomo and a coffee and newspaper if it's here, or a book, or just anything really. Just relax and watch the sun come up. That's life there. That's good living too. Four Roses small batch. Come on. Just as long as it's not tequila rose, I guess. Funny thing is, Four Roses, they ship their bourbon in these large, they look like tote bags, but they're called bladders. They ship it overseas, and then it is bottled overseas for their overseas market. I know this because, like I said, my wife is in logistics, and she was having that conversation earlier today, and I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Steph, you'll have one bottle tomorrow only? Oh, gosh. Boris, I feel bad for you. Are you already below 5 hours of sunlight a day, sir? I mean, of course, during the summer when it doesn't actually ever set, that kind of sucks too. One drink only, nerd. I'm okay with being a nerd. You know what 90% of nerds are 3 weeks after they graduate from college? Employed. And in times like this, it's kind of nice to be employed, just saying. So, Steph, when are you going to stop chasing older men? Obviously, I can't throw my hat in the ring. I'm definitely older. But you're like, what, 35? Skip's hair is starting to show Raiders colors. Makes him look extravagantly older than you. Skip, you know I'm just yanking your chain, right? And no, I have no fears of telling Skip that I enjoy his beard coming in with Raiders colors. I said it on their live stream, their most recent one. I'm sure he wanted to go dye it red and white just on that day. Oh, good Lord. 7:45 to 18:28. Let's see, that would be 7:45 in the morning. to just about 6:30 at night. Okay, so it's a little bit shorter than it is here in Houston. But yeah, from here on out, you're going to be losing several minutes a day until the sun doesn't come up. Skip, that's almost like you saying you like Nickelback. Don't blame me, partner. Not my fault you like Foo Fighters. Oh, goodness. I feel like I've been run all kind of ragged today and I haven't done anything. What it is the 60 at night and the 80 plus in the afternoon. That 20 degrees swing in temperature every day just wears me out. By the way, for anybody who is looking for the Texas Pipe Show, it's going to be in Carter Hill. No, not Carter Hill. Steph, help me out here. I forgot where it's at. It's up near Dallas. It's in between Dallas and Fort Worth, but on the south side of town. I am probably going to end up missing it because my granddaughter should be getting born somewhere during this month. And around the 1st of November was when I was already planning on trying to go see my granddaughter. And right after that, it was when Steph sprang it on me and said, "Hey, there's a Texas Pipe Show. Are you going?" And I was like, "Damn it." If things develop other than how I expect them to develop, I will be there. But at present, my answer is no. Yes, I do want to be there, but man, do I really want to go see my granddaughter. I know, she doesn't know. But I'll know, and it's going to bug me until I get to see her for the first time. Well, Skip, Austin also does not have the Lone Star Rally. Cedar Hills, November 6th, Cedar Hills. Howdy, System Tom. Great to see you, sir. Skip, quite honestly, Houston would be a better place to have a pipe show. We've got better airports and less asinine traffic. I know Houston traffic is bad, but trust me, until you've been up around Dallas-Fort Worth, you just don't know. Assistant Tom is smoking that early morning pipe in a CPW Meerschaum billiard with a silver band. Tom, believe me, I understand that completely. Overseas travel nowadays is hugely expensive, mostly because all of the travel spam risk declined. Sorry, Padre Piper, I'm not taking your call at present. I know for a fact that that was not Padre Piper. Oh yeah, traffic from Houston, or traffic in Houston, is worse than Austin. But if you don't know how to navigate Austin, you could be forever up on those bridges and never anywhere near where you're trying to get to. Plus, Austin has gone so crazy Democrat that they have other issues at present. One of those is that it's really difficult to have an open air smoking event in Austin because their city council is not allowing such things. So that kind of sucks too, right? Steve, I'm pretty certain that you were right. I can't wait. Uh-oh, Big Country Briar says Solani's in stock on smoking pipes. Uh-oh, Burley and 633 is still there, but you can forget about the silver. Thanks for that update, Big Country. Glad to see you. Nashville, hello. I don't say it as well as Willie does, but, well, I try. Skip, I've been in Austin so many times, I'm like an old hand at going around Austin. But unless everybody wanted me as their tour guide and we had like a party bus, it just wouldn't work out so well. Now, y'all wanted to be up early and late and eat at some of the most outrageous places on the planet and smoke a lot of tobacco at the same time. I'm telling you, we would just need a party bus and be headed to Austin. Because we'd eat it. Is it 1 in a million or a million to 1? I think it's 1 in a million. J-U-A-N in a million. You start off there with breakfast. Oh yeah. Trust me on this. That's where you start. You have lunch over in the... there's a place called the Noble Pig. Some of the best sandwiches you'll ever possibly eat. And then at night you go on over to some or other Inside Out. I want to say it's Dave's Inside Out, but I might be wrong. And if you really have to do some snacking in between, you run down through the food trailers. I would say food trucks, but it's food trailers. Clifford Firkin Ken Higgins. Howdy, sir. Great to have y'all in. Now, Franklin's Barbecue. Oh, yeah, the Salt Lick. Definitely. 6th Street Cafe, so we can watch the bats come out. Eden, howdy, sir. Great to see you here. I am telling you right now, I have been all over Austin. I have eaten at some of the best. I have eaten at some of the worst. Oh, and definitely a trip down to the Flying Saucer there in Austin. Who wouldn't love to see a tap wall with, what was it, last time I checked, like right around 60 taps? 60 taps. 200 plus available beers on every day of the week. Yeah, it's like that. Well, Eden, I'm hoping that I'm hoping for serious that it's just allergies. No, you do not have the original Flying Saucer in Austin. The original Flying Saucer is in Fort Worth. In fact, the one in Nashville was barely even open in '04, and I already had a plate. Not the one in Nashville. But you can trust me on this. The Flying Saucer, while it is in Nashville, and there's one in Memphis, and there's one in Raleigh-Durham, and there's one in Charlotte, and there's one in South Carolina that I forgot the name of where it's at. 2 in Houston, 1 in Fort Worth, 1 in Addison, 1 in Dallas, 1 in Austin, 1 in San Antonio. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirts. $19.96. Willie. The first one opened in the beer bar. I'm not talking about some Flying Saucer where you get pie. I've heard there's one of those somewhere in the United States also. But yes, the first one opened in Fort Worth, downtown Fort Worth. And I'm going to tell you, every time I went to any of the Flying Saucers, I went and I drank the local stuff. I did not drink anything out that was just yellow fizzy, you can get it anywhere, welcome to America, here's your Budweiser. No, didn't have that. When I was out other places, I was drinking either their local beers that they could get there on tap, or I was drinking something from far off someplace else that I couldn't get anywhere else. Hell, the last time I was in Memphis, I drank Dragon Stout. You can't even get that one here in Houston. I know, I've been trying. Yeah, the Flying Saucer, definitely. It is a draught house. They call it a draught house, where they pour draft beer, a lot of draft beer. Like I said, they've got these marvelous draft on tap walls that all of them have pennies behind the taps. Well, not all of them. Some have decided that wasn't going to work for them. Cliff, I definitely agree with you that the fresh eggs are awesome. Howdy, Chip. Great to see you, sir. Goodness gracious, have we already burned through almost a full hour now? 4:52, certainly have. Oh, another place that... Let's see, if you're up near Dallas, I would suggest going to Dick's Last Resort. Just remember that if you have to go to the bathroom, look for the neon sign that says the number 2 and the capital letter P. Eden, I do say that the tatawahes are pretty damn good. There's been some reviews where people didn't like them. I think most of those people tend to want a lighter cigar out of a cigarillo than what they're actually getting. And that really throws them off. Now, if you're looking for a little bit of a bigger size cigar, but not so much of a price tag jump, you might want to look into the Tatuaje Series P. That is P as in Paul. And if you really want to try their best stuff, find out what they've got for Skinny Monsters, and remember that with the Skinny Monsters, the darker the skin, the stronger the stick. Past that, I'm not going to try and tell you too much about Tatuaje, but I always did kind of like their cigars. Oh, I'm pretty sure Steph doesn't want to talk to us about which musician is Bree's favorite. Oh, Citizen Tom, that sounds horrible. But we're your friends, so you haven't lost all your friends. Supposedly, Odie knows nothing about bourbon, so don't ask. Yeah, that's a lie. And from a different show that was in Cincinnati, or at least based by somebody who was from Cincinnati, we reviewed the transcripts, and we have come to the conclusion that Odie, that was a lie. Eden, there is no problem with changing the subject to cigars. It's okay. Look, I worked in a cigar shop. I smoked a ton of cigars. I'm here to help. I'm not here to hinder. And if you're asking a cigar question, that's a tobacco question. And this is mostly a tobacco group. So there shouldn't be any way, shape, or form that that's an apologetic type thing. That's one of those, hey, we just need to do the right thing and discuss those items. Cliff, just make sure that cheer practice is not down at the beach. We don't want to see another natural disaster, damn it. Be careful, brother. We will see you sometime during some of the later events. Of course, y'all remember, hey, here in a second, we're going to be going over to Chad, live from San Jose. Hey, I got subscribed by Glumchum. Cool. Yes, I am trying to get my stupid tablet to work while I'm more or less still here. So what we got for the rest of the day, we've got Yardism. I know we're all going there. And then right after Yardism, there's Cane Rod. Most of us are going to hang out there. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Depends upon what the wife wants me to do. And, well, I don't know why, but I seem to be the person who has watched the most hours of Martin's Over a Pipe Let Her Rip Friday show. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to be there. And if y'all been missing out on any of this stuff, you got to check out the Briar Report. You go in, you sign up for the Briar Report newsletter. That's at briarreport.org. Find the BRTV guide newsletter. Sign up for it. Comes out either Monday or Tuesday. It's one of those 2 days. It's just recently changed, and I don't know if it's recently going to change back or what. Needless to say, you go back over a year ago, there were 2 days. There was Thursday, there was Friday. That was it. Now there is live shows every day of the week. If you want to be hanging out with your pipe smoking, cigar smoking friends, that is where to find it. Definitely sign up. Definitely get subscribed to it. It comes in the email. It's not going to be spammed at you outrageously 800 times in a day. You might have to go to your spam folder to find it. But very entertaining. Lots of stuff in there that y'all are going to miss out on, including a giveaway that just happened not too very long ago on a certain Blonde Canadian's channel. But you had to know about it ahead of time, and the only way you would have known was if you have signed up for the Briar Report. Stuff like that happens. You might want to make it happen for you too. Jose, I'm smoking a Alec Bradley Black Market Robusto. By the way, howdy sir, great to see you there. Boris, not a problem. I'm glad that we could be here. I do not see Chad on yet, but if he is, Odie, I'm here, but it's just a tailgate. It's not like this is required. Oh, well, if the beard is on, then my tablet is not receiving correctly. So, hey, we're out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, so much fun having y'all here. Y'all remember, it has been my pleasure to host y'all while y'all are hanging out. And let's go over and hang out with Chad. That's what we're here to do anyways, right? Remember, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Do the best y'all can with that. We always do. And as per always, y'all remember, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you on Chad's channel here in just a minute. Y'all be careful. I'll see you soon.